So what's your take?
Billionaires shouldn't exist.
100% agree.
We have to abolish the ability to become a billionaire. Like, there's no reason why a handful of people have the majority of the world's wealth that can fit into one room. Meanwhile, the rest of the world is starving and there are people that can't afford insulin.
I agree with you.
Why are we still letting it happen?
I've seen a lot of Subway takes, okay? This one may be the best.
I think the common person's just dumb.
Well, no duh. That's why billionaires are literally gutting out our government right now as we speak.
Who are we supposed to call?
We outnumber the billionaires. And when we wake up, when we rise up to take back our power, we have to be able to push back against this minority of a handful of people.
Do you want to eat the rich?
Absolutely. When we let billionaires, literally, as it's happening right now, completely change the rules of the game to make them wealthier and us poorer, then that's the only result that we're gonna live with.
She's cooking, and it's a message that should be a mainstay in politics.
When is the last time that you heard a serious discussion or any discussion at all on television about the unprecedented level of income and wealth inequality that we're currently experiencing? Today in America, three people, Musk, Bezos, and Zuckerberg, combined own more wealth than the bottom half of American society, 170 million people. Think that's an important issue? But we don't talk about it. You're not going to see that on TV. You can watch TV 24 hours a day. It is not going to be discussed because the people who own the networks don't want serious discussion about the immorality and the economic injustice that takes place when so few own so much and so few have so little. 60% of our people live paycheck to paycheck. And working class Americans, as a result of the stress they experience daily, just trying to survive, trying to put food on the table, working class people have a 7-year shorter life expectancy than the wealthy. In other words, being working class in America is a death sentence. Do you hear anybody talking about that horror? I don't. Over 20% of senior citizens in this country are trying to survive on less than $15,000 a year. Think about it. 80, 90 years of age, trying to get by on less than $15,000 a year. There's some 800,000 people in America are homeless. And 20 million Americans, including many of you, are spending 40, 50% of your limited incomes on housing. We talk about the fact that in America we have the highest rate of childhood poverty of almost any major country on earth, all taking place in the richest country in the history of the world. Do you hear folks talking about it? They don't.
And why is it like this? Because the United States, led by a billionaire, is supporting other billionaires. The American taxpayer is subsidizing the rich, while we don't even get a crumb because they take that too. Income inequality, monopolies, racial and gender inequality, the lack of taxes being paid by the ultra-rich, and more has led us to where we are. For Oxfam, billionaire wealth grew by $2 trillion in 2024 alone, equivalent to roughly $5.7 billion a day, at a rate 3 times faster than the year prior. An average of nearly 4 new billionaires were minted each week. Meanwhile, the number of people living in poverty has barely changed since 1990. That's according to World Bank data. Who likes to struggle? I mean, who adores living paycheck to paycheck? Who really loves hearing the CEO of Kellogg's say, maybe you should have cereal for dinner? Who doesn't envision the best society possible where billionaires like Jeff Bezos take the money that he stole from his workers and sends Katy Perry up into space so she could reveal a set list? Who doesn't love that?
But you have to get to the root cause of it, of why billionaires exist in the first place. But there is this very common assumption that billionaires exist because they earned their spot there, because that takes hard work. And while that's aspirational, they dangle it in front of our faces like we have a chance of becoming billionaires, when we're more likely to become homeless than we are ever to even see a million.
Let her cook.
These are all points I really try to hit on over and over. Do not adore the billionaire class, all right? Feel the exact opposite of them. Reports Vox, CEOs compensate compensation, that has grown by 1,085% since 1978, while the average worker's salary has only grown by 24%. They add, since 1979, the top 1% of earners saw their wages grow by 182%. The bottom 90% saw their wages grow by 44%. As a result of this, the concentration of money at the top of the income ladder is at the highest it's been in nearly a century.
So because of that, it's necessary for us to not look at billionaires like these aspirational names on Forbes list, but rather to be shamed from society and alienated from society, and we have to revisit the rules that allowed them to become billionaires in the first place.
This show has been awesome. Let me be very clear. I love their TikToks. I love what they post on social media. The entire premise is awesome. The way that they thought about having interviews on a subway and attaching a lavalier mic to a train card is a freaking plus. Okay, off the bat, love it. I love that they interviewed Zoran, who is running for mayor. If you are in New York City, please vote for this man. Please. There is no reason not to. You really want Cuomo back? You want Andrew Cuomo to be the mayor of New York? I mean, I know you guys have been unable to pick for quite a long time with the Bloombergs. You want to go back to that, really? From an outsider's perspective, and for one of the best cities in the world, please vote for this guy. He wants to help you. This was shocking to hear from a politician. When they reached their fundraising goal, he said, stop sending money. When have you heard someone say that? Have you ever heard John Ossoff, who's decent, Nancy Pelosi, have you ever heard them say, hey, we've fundraised enough? No. So the sheer honesty of this guy is miles ahead of anybody else within this race. You had a chance at Maya Wiley, you blew it. Vote for Zoran, please. Nonetheless, I've said this before, I've said it a million times. It feels like it's hard to be a sports fan who at times is a leftist because we see so many things differently. And it's not the game, it's the entire stratosphere of sports and the field of play. And the amount of people, whether it is Newcastle fans sucking up to the Saudi regime because they own their club, or if it is a lot of golf fans suddenly becoming pro-Saudi, or even MAGA people who follow the Olympics and World Cup and they really, really want Russia's inclusion once again. Billionaires are affecting quite literally everything that we do. Everything. The infrastructure that has been set up, the amount of private equity that is going into many things, including sports, the water we consume, they want to privatize it. The way that there are so many roads, including in my city, which is one of the best in the world, that remain unfixed. The dismantling of education, wanting it to go private. I'm just flabbergasted by the amount of people who glaze those that they want to be and never will. They are reaching for the skies and they are on cement outside of their home. A home that they do not own, which is another humongous problem. So I think this was an important interview. I hope for more of these from Subway Takes, and we will continue shining a light on this because the reason for so many problems right now in our country and beyond, but mainly here, is because of the ultra rich and how they want you to work until your last breath because it benefits them. Instead, there is a better future. There is a brighter future that I really hope we can unite on, have the vision, and also lay the groundwork so our kids and our kids' kids don't have to struggle the way that we did. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/tytsports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.